All right, welcome back, everyone. This is episode number 2 of the season, of this new season. So today we're doing more little cutting and adjusting of the front end. I'll show you guys right now. So walking over here to the vehicle, I have been cutting and adjusting this little section. This battery compartment, I covered it up. Battery compartment had this lip right here, which raised this slightly. So I came over here and just cut like maybe 3/4 inch right here, just so this can now sit where it's supposed to sit. You can see it's now sitting much lower, which is good. So the lines are looking a lot nicer. Still having to adjust very slightly the front end, get a piece of wood and then just kind of move it around just to see exactly what I need to cut. Place one bolt here, and looking at it from a little bit of a distance, there's the slightest difference here with this line and this line. So this one has to come down a little bit more for it to be perfect. The only thing I could think of is this right here. So this is not allowing it to fall enough. So I'm gonna cut that out and see what happens. Latch pieces taken off. All right, quick little update. Removed the whole wiper assembly. It was just attached with a screw there, screw here, and then one right here, which was kind of hard to get. And then customizing these brackets to get the windshield wipers to work, because the windshield wipers on the old car are here, and the new car, there was one over here, and I believe the other one was there. So that's gonna be another little challenge. And then in terms of the welding here, we put little spot welds just to hold on to the car in the front end here. Put a little metal right here connecting those two. Okay, currently putting on the old AMG exhaust. It has been quite the challenge. I had to put the car on ramps and then use this to push it in there, and then put some blocks, lift it up enough, and then put some screws up there. I just have very little space to get in there. Right up there, where those, right, the one right there, and that one goes right up there. And then I have to bolt it to the cat over there. And this is gonna sit all the way up into that heat shield thing. Today we're gonna be working in the garage because it is raining. So I have lined out this piece of scrap metal, flattened out the back a little bit, then marked where I believe this should fit, which is in this bottom section right here. This whole section is uncovered. I put a little piece on the other side. I'll show you guys. Put a little piece right here. This was the original piece that was here, but I had removed it and modified it a bit. So now it is fitting a lot better and closer to the original. So as you can see, it's probably a better angle here. This whole section is uncovered, so I'm going to get that closed off. This weld right here was probably the best one out of all of them, just because it had a really good fusion with the top and bottom here. Some of these were not that good, like this one was pretty bad. This one was bad, this one was bad, this one was really good. This one up here was good, not good, bad, and then this one was okay. That's kind of the name of the game when you're learning, is how much are you willing to put in here. All right, update on this side. I put a piece of metal here, as well as all the way on that corner. This piece of metal right here, just to add some strength here. So this is how it's looking on the other side. I still need to finish filling in this whole gap here, this whole area. Not too sure exactly how I'm gonna do it. Might just put another flat piece of metal right there.
Pero está en calidad.
Ajá. All right, so we just came back from pick and pull. The car you guys saw was an older Mercedes. So these are the two brackets we took from the car. So I am currently figuring out how exactly this is gonna fit. Just because this back part is very narrow down here. I was thinking of maybe putting like a notch right here, so that way half of it fits onto this bottom part and then the other half can weld onto that part. All right, so I made this template for the right side of the trunk. Traced it onto this piece of paper, so I'm gonna come and cut all the necessary cuts here, and then gonna have a lip coming around this whole, coming around all this is gonna be a lip. So cut this right now. Okay, here we go. Here's the update. Got the new brackets mounted. So these are welded on very slightly here. Come in here and add support to that bracket, which I'll do next. But as of now, I'm going to add a nice piece of metal here. Combine these two, make this whole thing stronger again. Right, just finished up welding some more support here. As you can see, my welds are slightly better. They're getting better slowly. Of course, it takes a lot of practice and kind of knowing how to move material. You can see it's not perfect, but I mean, gets the job done. Got the piece right here. Right there. Right there. Okay, I just put this little piece of metal in between here. Gotta slide this piece a little bit over, but looking pretty good. Looks well with combination of this. I think it looks good, and then I'll cut the little lip here so it can look nice and flush. I think it's looking pretty good. Also, I'm gonna cover this little gap there, but I'm liking it. Right, I just cut this little piece of metal here, and then I'm going to weld it on. I got this magnet to help me keep it there in place. So I'm gonna tack weld up top, and then take off this magnet, and then tack the bottom. All right, so continuing on. I finished this. I'm going to weld this part shut right here. Got all this welded, and then weld this shut. I think it came out pretty nice. Nice little section here. So now I'm gonna lift the car up, take off this rear wheel, and then start working on this gap right here. I'm welding the two wheel wells here. So I'm gonna lift this up, take off the wheel, and start cleaning it and welding it. Okay, so around 20 minutes later, got a big mess, but I got most of the edges cleaned up from that like rubber tar they would put back then. So we got a nice surface now to weld. Okay, so as an update, I got some welds going around here. I was able to hammer it down and then get some okay looking welds. I mean, of course this is a project, so I'm trying to get better. The first time I ever weld in my life, so trying to do as good as a job as I can. So here is where I'm going to now create that piece that I need. So this is how this process pretty much goes. I use this cardboard paper and then some scissors, and then I just slowly make a shape for this. So right off the bat, let's just get the length, the appropriate length. We got about right there. It seems good to me. We got the length here. Now the width. The width, we're looking at about, let's see, the longest point is gonna be here. So let's do like a little bit more than that. So maybe like right there. Just go like that. Come down here. Just bend that, and I think that looks pretty okay to me. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely perfect. This is all gonna be sealed off with some of this sealant here. So it's looking pretty all right there. Got a bit of a hole right here, but not too bad. I can try to mark this so I can know to extend this a little bit. Should have a pencil on. So here I got a bunch of scrap pieces of metal. This one seems like it will do. See if it fits the template. Hopefully it fits. Yeah, it looks like it will fit. Bit of a hole here, but that's okay. We can still use this piece of metal. Yeah, looks okay. Alright, so here's the final shape. Pretty rough shape, but I was able to get it. Take it out of this anvil vise thing. Might be a little hot. Let me grab it with this hand. Alright, so here is the piece. See how closely I was able to get it. There's some parts that are a little more thick, but I think it's okay. We had a lot of room. So overall it's pretty good. I mean, got a little bit thicker, which is okay. Let's try this out on this. Let me try to remember what. I think it went like that, yeah. So this was like this, I believe. Yeah, it looks pretty good right here. I could come and shape it up a little bit more, but overall the shape is there. You can see it pretty much covers. I have to bend it a little bit here on the top. But here, let me set that down. So this is how we're looking. Come and give this a little bit of a shape here. Of course, it's always a little harder once it's made out of metal, but definitely bend this tip right here, which is what we need. So I think what I'll do now is feeling pretty good. Oopsies. So well done, and this needs to be bended inward here, something like that. So it's gotta have a little bit of a bend down here at the end to really get that final shape to here. I just finished welding. Starting to get slightly better on my welds. As you can see, this was probably the best weld I did here. So I was going, and I just stopped. This one was okay. This one, I don't know. I think half of it went on the wrong side, just because it's kind of hard to see. Here, there's too much of a gap between a piece of metal and this, so it started all just melting there. Here it was just kind of hard to even get that angle right. Like I had to bring the gun and go from here to really get a nice bead going. This was again, I was just starting to make holes. But overall, I think this was the best weld here. This first one got a pretty nice pattern going. But I mean, it just takes time. This one was okay too. This one was alright. So the cool thing about these old Mercedes is that you have these cool little jack points where you can just insert and lift it up. Okay, so right now I'm going to do a bit of electrical work with these original light mounts here. And then this is the attachment I'm gonna adapt to it. So this connects to, try to drop everything. So this connects to this connection right here. So these are for the lights. So what I'm gonna do, I already took pictures of everything. What I'm gonna do is cut all the wires and then splice them onto these. We have 5 different ones, which I still need to figure out which one. Like this is the turn signal. I'm not too sure what all these other ones are for. So I need to figure that out right now. Okay, so I turned on the ignition, put it in reverse. Check out the connection, looking good. So this blue wire is the reverse light. Soldered it to this old cable here, and then that goes to this pin, the yellow, which is this one, which is pretty good. And it will be right here for the reverse, which is good.